Hi, welcome back to the Jac and Glen channel. I'm Jackie.
I'm her husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn.
Hey, before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews.
And if you like listening to audio books, click the link in the description for a free 30-day trial with Audible. And while you're at it, if you're shopping online, you can use the Rakuten link and get a $10 credit.
Hey, before we get started with this Radio Love review of the reunion, make sure you check out our channel on Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have on Rashid from Ready to Love as we conduct our interview with him. So make sure that Sunday afternoon,
January 24th.
January 24th at 4 p.m. Check our channel out. Go ahead and hit that notification, that reminder, so you get the bell when it starts, or you get the video when it starts. Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m., January 24th. Rashid will be on with us talking about his experience on Ready to Love Season 3.
All right. Excited about that.
Excited
to talk to Rashid.
Yeah.
But Ready to Love Reunion Part 2. And we get off the top the answer to our question where we left off. Are Jay and Joy still together? And the answer is no.
No.
They're not together.
But they're in a situationship.
Slash friendship. They're just friends. They've been working on their friendship, their situationship. Joy said that with everything that was going on with her sister passing away, you know, she just had to focus on healing from that and dealing with that. And so she and Jay went on 2 official dates.
Yeah.
But they're not dating. But they're friends, and they're good that way.
I'm cool with that. And the reason I'm cool with that is because she has a lot. Jay said it, and something else we watched where, you know, when you have a lot going on, you don't make big decisions when you're grieving.
Right.
You don't make big decisions when you lose somebody. And she lost her sister. She lost somebody that really meant a lot to her. You don't want to make that big decision, even though Jay was there to support her, to be there for her. And sometimes she just needed a friend, and he was a friend to Joy, and I think that was what she needed right there. They still got the lines of communication open, and I think he even said on the reunion, if it goes that way, we're fine. If it gets to the relationship, we start dating even more frequently, and it gets to the point where we are in a committed monogamous relationship, they're cool. And that's grown man stuff right there. I'm not even mad at him, because who to say that when you get off this show that it has to go into I love you, but we're working on the relationship. I ain't got to move in tomorrow. You ain't got to move in tomorrow. And we're just working on the relationship. And we saw that with a lot of the couples, that they're just working on their relationship.
Yeah. That's what Joy said. She was like, and she's not dating anyone else. But if she would be dating someone steadily, it would be Jay.
Because it would be Jay. The conversation, I think all good relationships start with friendships. I mean, I got a good friend out of our relationship.
Who's that?
That's you. We were friends. We hung out. We listened to music. We watched Glory together. That's showing our age.
No, it was Star Trek.
Star Trek, The Practice, and we used to hang out. We had a Sunday evening get together.
And Saturday.
Yes. We were, in college, so it was fun. So friendships do go into relationships, and relationships go into marriage. So, hey, you never know.
Hopefully it'll go into marriage.
Hopefully.
All right. So, the one thing I want to say there, too, is, like, Tommy's asking questions, you know, about what's going on with them. And Jay kind of tried to steal Tommy's thunder. I know what you're going to ask me next. Tommy was like, don't be taking my questions. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Don't be taking myself, dog.
I thought that was funny out of it. Because, I mean, yeah, of course, everybody knows what you're going to ask. You know where it's going to go. But let Tommy host the show,
Let him do his job.
Let him do his job. But, so, we go from there to, they talk about 2 contestants that got eliminated. First go around to see what's up with them, and that's Sam and Danny.
First night out, Sam and Danny got put out. Got bye-bye. And we knew Sam was awkward anyway. Sam really wasn't feeling it. And we found out why Sam really wasn't feeling it when he was there anyway. He was like, he had his mind on a lot of other things. And
which one being, he got a baby on the way. He found this out before he came on the show. But he was already locked into the show, and he committed to doing it. So that's why he came. And
really, he really committed to doing it, or did he want to get the paycheck for being on the show? I'm sure they get a little something. You get a little piece of pie, a little something. So, he might be like, you know what, I got this other baby on the way. I'm going to make this business move. let me keep this business thing going.
I mean, that might have been part of it. I like to say that, it was like, they picked me. Let me just go ahead through with it and see what happens.
I understand his integrity, but think about it. If he would have stayed on there longer and found love, he would have to tell the person that he's in love with, guess what? I'm having a baby.
Oh, absolutely.
So to me, he was ready to go. It was like, yo, thank you for kicking me off, but we showed the awkwardness. That would have been great TV, though. Mm-hmm. If he would have stayed long and found love, and he knew this, and he ended up finding love on the show, and had to tell the person that he had a baby on the way. Oh, dog.
Yeah.
To my ratings.
So he said he wasn't really surprised that he got eliminated.
He wasn't in it. His mind wasn't in it. The questions he was asked, the conversation he was asked, he wasn't in it.
Yeah. And so we found out this is his third kid, and we found out it's his third baby mama. And Tommy tells him, don't be hanging out with Raymond, because then you're going to have 2 more.
Yeah, Raymond got them 5 kids, and you don't want to catch up with Raymond.
No, that was a good chuckle. But then he said, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sam realized that, you know what, yeah, I do have a lot of things to do. I got to get myself together. I'm working on me. I do have to deal with baby mama, because we remember he had baby mama drama on one of the kids. So now he's dealing with 3 women, 3 different kids, and all the kids want his time, want his attention. The women want his attention, time, and maybe money.
Oh,
so,
I'm sure.
So he has a lot to work on. But Danny.
Now, so Danny was like, Tommy was like, what do you think it was that kind of got you eliminated? And she was like, I understand, I'm good. I know I give off homegirl vibes. But like you said, those homegirl vibes, it's my friend vibe. Can go into a relationship, go into marriage. So she was like, it is what it is. But she said there's been no solid dating for her. She just kind of single and mingling, and she said she's dealing with her daughter. Her daughter's older.
Yeah.
So she's not raising her daughter, but just hanging out.
She's single and ready to mingle.
Or her daughter, rather.
She's single and she's ready to mingle. So.
Absolutely.
So hit up.
All right. So we talked about Raymond a little bit. Tommy went to Raymond, and we see Raymond and Shay. We want to catch up with them because they were the next ones to get eliminated. Mm-hmm. And same thing with Shay. Why do you think you got eliminated? Again, Tommy was like, is it the girlfriend vibes with that? Yeah, I guess so. Because she said she had a great friendship connection with all the guys.
All dudes.
And, the clips they showed, it was like, she was being her, loud, outgoing,
and she
outrageous.
Speaking the truth and a little bit over the top, but
yes,
she was Shay. And you can't knock her. She had a good time. And she was who she was. She loved having fun. You always remember the clip like, oh girl, look at down there. Look what's going on down there. He just came out of, so-and-so room. So, he just came out of Alicia's room. Look at him down there with Alex. So that's one of the clips people are going to remember for Shay. Yeah.
And so Tommy asked Raymond, what do you think it was that prevented you from finding love and staying on the show? And it was basically his comments about marriage. Yeah. And he was like, I feel like a marriage is a commitment between 2 souls. And if you shack for 10 years, you married. Tommy's like, nah. As you getting 5, 7, 10 years, first of all, should no woman be going through all that without an actual firm commitment? Why do you have to get a piece of paper? Look, you get a driver's license.
Well, get a dog license.
You get a fishing license.
You get a hunting license. You get a license to carry your gun.
You absolutely do.
Well, you should have a license to carry a gun. Let me put it that way. You're supposed to have one. You're supposed to have a license to carry.
But, so, Tommy kind of quelled that, like, it's not just a piece of paper. Yeah. It's making it official. You putting it on record.
But look, Tommy also said if a guy takes that long to marry you, he don't want to marry you anyway. Because
absolutely.
If a man knows when he want to be committed with somebody and he want to be married to somebody, and it doesn't take 5 or 10 years for him to figure that out.
Nah.
It doesn't. It doesn't take 5 or 10 years for him to figure that out. So if you're in a 5 or 10 year relationship, you might want to ask your man or your woman what's the problem.
Yeah.
That's why you have shows. That's why you have shows like Put a Ring on It, because people wait too long. Mm-hmm. And deal with things like that. Look, 5 or 10 years, that's too long.
Yeah, and so Tommy takes the time to ask Raymond, hey, is it somebody special? Have you made any connections? He was like, yeah, I made some connections. I had some potentials, and it was like...
She's a chef.
Oh, she's a chef? Like, nah. Shay.
She looked all right. She good company.
He's like, yeah, she a chef named Shay. Oh, shucks.
Shay and Raymond.
Yeah, and you know, Tommy asks, "Is romantic?" And Raymond's like, "Nah, it's not romantic." Shay says, "Stop lying.
Stop lying.
Stop lying. Yes, it is. It is romantic.
It's
Don't
romantic.
ask him. Don't ask him." Tommy said, "I ain't gonna ask him nothing. I'm gonna ask you, Shay." And Raymond says that Shay has cooked for him, and Tommy's like, "Oh, okay." And Simone was like, "Yep, he sure did. She sure did. I was there."
They had some crab legs, honey.
Yeah, they was making connections and gazing into each other's eyes over them crab legs. Oh yeah, it's some romanticism going on.
But did anybody think other than me? Why was Simone there?
What you mean? Because she was on the show. I don't know.
Why was Simone there while they gazing in each other's eyes eating crab legs?
I don't know, because maybe they made friends. Maybe we don't know if it was a guy there with Simone.
That's what I'm about to say. Maybe she had a date. Maybe it was on a double date, or Simone peeping around corners again. Or
maybe it was Shay invited a group of people there to eat, and Simone was one of them. It was some other people, and it just so happened, you know, of course she invited Raymond, and so they could make Google eyes at each other.
I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying nothing wrong. I was just curious when she said
When
she said that, my mind began to like, what you doing there?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
But so Tommy makes Raymond promise that it's not gonna be no shacking.
No shacking this time.
It ain't gonna be no shacking. Make sure you get that paper. And Shay says you're gonna have to get a paper if you messing with me.
If you effing with me.
Yeah, I was being nice.
We're not saying the word. She said effing with me.
Yeah, she says you're gonna have to get that ring in that paper if you're gonna be effing with me.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the way it's gonna be. But anyway, I don't know. I feel like
Raymond O.
So when I look at it's not that. When I look at we got the outside the show matches. We got David and Alex. And I'm like, oh, okay, they look nice together. I didn't really feel that way with Raymond and Shay. Like, I couldn't have pictured them together. I thought it was odd to me. I don't know.
Look, they said what happened? We didn't get to see any Shay love interest in the show. It made it look like that she didn't have any, that she didn't like anybody.
I'm not even talking about the interest. I'm talking about the looks of the couples together. Like, they don't even look like they would be a couple.
I'm gonna say something like Shay said. Shay would say, "You ain't gotta worry about that. You ain't got nothing to do with that. What they look like is between them two." That's what she would say.
Okay.
Keep the party going.
Okay. Well, excuse me, you letting Shay speak through you.
I'm like Denise. I'm letting Shay speak to me. I'm letting Shay speak to me.
Anyway,
hold on, side note. I wish they would have came back to revisit that. The whole Denise.
Oh, I know.
They didn't revisit that we saw.
That was a mess.
That was a mess. You channeling. Or you saying something that you thought Joy, she didn't say it, don't say it. Why would you do that?
I don't know. Of course, they did address some things with Denise, but we'll get to that. Then we see, they talk about the Chris Nia connection.
Yeah.
And what was up with that. And they showed some, clips of them together. And then they showed clips of Nia off to chain comments. Oh, I wasn't gung-ho over nobody.
Before they showed Nia and Edwin. And they showed them together.
Well, yeah, they showed all of that.
And then Chris was like, I didn't even know she went on a date with Edwin.
Right.
Chris was like, yo, I had no idea because I was conversating with Joy about this financial situation and you over here basically kissing Edwin. And he's like,
oh, yeah, that's what he said. He was like, you giving me these petty apex and you done went full frontal lips with you all up in Edwin's face like, wow.
And what we did find out though about the comment about the mortgage and the money was that Nia said her and Chris had fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
But her issue was with Chris, not that he made the comment, that he was telling everybody else about the situation. And she's like, oh no.
They had fixed it and you brought it back up.
Yeah.
When we got around everybody else. And she said that's what the tension came. That's when she was like real salty about it. But
she's still salty.
Apparently. But again, we find that she and Edwin have communicated since the show. Even though on there she was like, I wasn't feeling nobody. I'm waiting for my boyfriend to pick me up in Atlanta. And this, and this, and I got all these potentials.
Blah, blah,
now that's the one thing
blah.
she did not retract about all the potentials. She said that again later, but she said she was just talking trash.
In her mind, everybody's a potential until she get a ring on her finger. And that's
what she said.
Everybody's a potential until she get a ring on her finger. So if you want to date, I'll oblige you. If that's the word for the day. If you want to date her, she'll oblige you.
That's what she said.
If you ask you, she'll oblige you. So she just want whoever asks, she'll oblige.
Yeah, Chris said that was like a gut punch when she was like, "Oh, I was just obliging him. He wanted to talk to me. He wanted to date me. I obliged him." Chris was like,
"Yeah,
man, that was a gut punch. You know, I really had to. I had to get myself together. I didn't really care for that too much."
He was hurting.
But then, like Tommy said, you know, some contestants leave quietly and some leave with a bang, and Nia left with a bang.
Bang bang.
Yeah, and they showed one part of the clip that we did see. We saw the part where she was talking about, I'm trying to go see my boyfriend go pick me up from the airport. But what we didn't see was, I was like she about to snatch the mic off. He's like, don't touch the mic. She said, I bet you if I keep pushing these buttons, that is something gonna happen with the mic. I was like, dang.
I didn't really like Edwin anyway. She just was going in, and then Tommy asked her, did you really have a boyfriend? She's like, nah, I was just saying that.
Right. She said I was just talking trash, but the other part of the clip that we didn't see, she was like, you got to find out about these men. Does he get his prostate checked? Does he brush his teeth? Some of these men, I was like, she went down a whole list of stuff, and I was like, well, dang, she went in, she went
The
ham.
funniest part of all that clip is Rashid talking to the couch. I don't care what anybody says. That's
like,
the funniest thing.
Tell me that you gonna have to talk to the couch. They was like, why you do that? He was like, I was being obedient.
I was just following directions. That's to me. That's the funniest thing from the whole season. Yeah, I guess you're not ready to love.
That was hilarious.
Cracking
even right dish. Alex was like, bruh, you did not do that.
He even chuckled, but that was funny to me. That's the funny thing for the clip. She's like, oh, y'all not gonna embarrass me? Boo, you knew you was gonna get eliminated. I don't understand how she didn't think she wasn't gonna get eliminated. You had no other connections.
Yeah.
None.
Tommy said to her, would she have handled anything different? She was like, no, I wouldn't have handled nothing different. It was what it was. He asked Edwin, what was up, and Edwin was like, me and her talked about it, and I saw, all the dramatics and stuff. Yeah. He said, but I didn't take it any type of way because I knew the conversations we had, and I felt like what she was saying, it really didn't apply to me.
Right.
And she was just talking. And
he also said, they are dating a little bit, going in and out, having relationships, but he's concentrating about working on himself and getting him right. He's right now managing more businesses and getting back into management. He's worried about him. So they're on situationship as well.
Yeah. Chris said he had a great experience. It helped him to step outside of the box, and he realized that in everything that he does, that I'm all in. If I'm doing the radio thing, I'm all in. If I'm doing this, I'm all in. If I'm in this relationship, I'm all in. And he says, I'm not looking for love, but I'm here if I need to be found. And Nia tried to hit him with no, you're not supposed to find, she's not supposed to find you. You're supposed to find a good thing. You're supposed to find her. And he was like, okay.
People laugh like you quoting the Bible, but he tried to find you and you left off with the next dude.
Yeah.
He thought you was the one, but you tripping.
I was like, miss me with that, Nia, but it's okay.
She reads the Bible.
Yeah, that's like, when it comes to relationships, I feel like a lot of people in church and out of church, that's going to be your most quoted scripture. He that findeth a wife finds a good thing and obtain that favor from the Lord. You got to find me. You got to, my boy ass got to find me.
Well, you got to be somewhere where he can find you.
Well, and in the right mood to be found.
In the right place.
All right, so from there, we get into the talk. And they didn't get as deep into this as I thought they would. It was supposed to be the light-skinned, dark-skinned conversation that they had on the show. But it focused more on the narcissistic comment.
Yeah. More
than the light-skinned, dark-skinned thing. And their thing was, Denise really didn't apologize to him.
She still didn't.
And when she apologized, she was like, I apologize if you felt that way, but I don't apologize for what I said.
Because she said that's her truth. And she said that's her truth. That's how she felt. I can see where she's coming from. I'm not bashing Denise at all. That's how she felt. She felt some narcissistic vibes. So when she said it in a way not to demean him or to put him down, but she said it in a way, and I do think she has an issue with apologizing. Mm-hmm. I don't think she see how she offended. You know, sometimes you say things, you don't see how you offended because that's your truth. But even though if it's your truth, you still offend somebody by sharing your truth. And I think that's what she did. She offended by sharing her truth. And yeah, Adriana went back and told. And rightfully so.
Yeah.
And that was one of the biggies because we're here. We don't know how long we're going to be here. And we don't want any beef between all of us. And I don't want you to be feeling this way. This is potentially my man.
Yeah.
And you feeling this way because of, you think it's narcissistic views? That's not him. Because what they didn't show in this clip was him talking about going to shop at, was it Macy's? What was the name of the store?
Was it Nordstrom?
Nordstrom's. We're going to shop at Nordstrom's, and he was talking about buying things from Nordstrom. Pajamas and things like that. And she thought that was being narcissistic. If I can afford to go to Nordstrom's, go to Nordstrom's.
But the one thing she did add that she said wasn't shown in that scene was that when she made the comment, she also followed it with, but let me not judge him and treat him different because those the vibes I got. So even though that's the vibes I got, I'm not going to box him into that.
And that's on production for not showing that.
Yeah.
And so we're taking her word for it if it was there or not. Because production's not going to show it because they like the drama.
That's true.
So.
And Rashid acknowledged that the two of them did have a conversation about it and they kind of squashed it. But he said you didn't really apologize to me.
Yeah.
I understood where you were coming from. I understood that you were basing it from your viewpoint. I have empathy and sympathy for where you're coming from. But I need you to know that your comments put me in a bad light. It was attached to my name. And when this aired, I would have to deal with people saying that to me. You know, it wasn't fair.
Especially in the business that he's in. Think about it.
Right.
The business that he's in, a selling type profession, business. And so people who watch the show who may want to deal with him, going to deal with him in a different way because they think he's narcissistic. Think he's a know-it-all. Think he's that. Now, when he shows up, he's going to be able to have to show a different side, or it can't be as aggressive because they would think, okay, look at it, that's his narcissistic side coming out. Mm-hmm. You know, even in negotiation and dealings, there's a art to negotiating that sometimes the voice goes up and go down. Some people don't perceive that as a way, because of the comment that was made. I understand what he's saying. Mm-hmm. People gonna look at him being, again, narcissistic.
Then they deal with the Adriana and Denise thing and trying to make Adriana feel inferior. I feel like Denise completely missed that. Like, how can you not see that your comments towards her were trying to make her feel inferior? Mm-hmm. Like, basically, who you are, who do you think you are coming to check me? Who gonna check me, boo? You can't check me, boo. And you were trying to compete with me.
Yeah.
And Adriana basically was like, well, it is a competition. We all trying to find somebody to date, and of course people gonna be dating other people. You can't feel some type of way.
That's what I didn't think. I think Denise missed it, and I think she get it, but she don't get it. It is a competition. They're gonna be dating. The dude that you fell in love with or liked from day one has 9 other women to explore. Mm-hmm. It is a different situation. It is totally different from anything that you ever been in. It's not like a strawberry patch. You go pick your one and you good. You can go leave.
Right.
It is that y'all are here for how many weeks? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 weeks. And there's going to be a relationship. He's going to develop a relationship and you're going to have to win him. Or he's going to have to win you. Somebody's going to have to win so you two can stay together. And she wasn't able to do that.
Yeah. And Denise went there with it. She was like, now I don't know nothing about Houston.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Texas. We might have to ask our friend who's from Texas. But when she was like, I'm from Acre Homes, you don't want the Acre Homes to come out, and Adriana was like, okay, and I'm from Beaumont.
I'm from Beaumont.
So, I don't know.
I don't know too much about Houston area, but I guess, Acre Homes, I guess that's rough town.
Now, I around our parts, I heard it's a place, it's Acre Zoo.
Yeah.
So if Acre Homes is anything like Acre Zoo,
anything named Acres can't be good.
And and around these parts if it's a court.
Yeah, around these parts.
If it's a court. If it's a court.
So she was like, no, but I ain't gonna go there. And I'm glad she kept it classy at that point. You know, I'm not gonna go there. And Tommy asked Adriana, you know, can it be squashed? Is it over?
Denise said it's squashed. Adriana's like, I mean, it's squashed. You know, I'm not okay about it. But the thing about it is, it don't even matter, because she said outside of here, we probably wouldn't mesh anyway. We wouldn't be friends. So it is what it is. I ain't worried about it. But I do feel some type of way, because let's be real. Janice tried to carry her like she was a senior in high school and Adriana was a freshman.
Hey, it was trying to carry her.
She tried to carry her like that.
This is my football player. Don't you mess with him.
Exactly.
And don't you touch him.
I don't care if you're a cheerleader. I'm on the track team.
I'm on the track team, and that's what it carried. Like, hey, yo, he's the star quarterback. I had him first, and you the new freshman coming in town, and he makes you feel giddy and happy. And don't you touch that.
Right.
Even the way that she approached Calfani, what you trying to do to me? He's like, yo, I didn't know we was getting together. I don't like that.
That's the one thing Denise said that she felt like people did with her, is she said they confused her assertiveness for being aggressive. And I think the difference between being assertive and being aggressive is when you had that mean edge. And she had the mean edge. It's all about
tone, pitch, and volume. It's about tone, pitch, and voice. How do I say what I want to get across, but say it not in a... I can still be assertive.
Demeaning and mean way.
But don't say it in a mean and nasty way. And again, how you say it, how it comes out of your mouth and how it comes out of your mind is not always the way that people perceive it. Mm-hmm. You may say it in a nice, in your way, you might have said it in a nice, reluctant, nice, calm way. But the way I perceive it is...
Raw.
It's like, yeah, like raw. You know, again, conversation is the key to go. So...
Yeah, so we go from that into the other square.
Yeah.
Kinda. It wasn't no crossing over except with Rashid, Calfani, Adriana. Mm-hmm. But we had Denise and Calfani, Adriana and Calfani, Adriana and Rashid. So we addressed the fact, first of all, Tommy was like, how did you feel, Rashid? You know, you came in here, you already knew Adriana. She had ghosted you, and Rashid quantified that. He said we actually had ghosted each other. Yeah. Because I was fresh off of my divorce. Mm-hmm. She was fresh out of a relationship. We both really wasn't ready. The date was awkward, so we just kind of both didn't call each other. It wasn't in a mean way. So he was excited to see her when he got there. It was like, oh man, and she was too. Like, okay, so we're both here. It must be, for lack of a better word, like fate, or fate, you know,
as she termed she is universe,
or an opportunity for us to try it again. Yeah. And so that was the excitement there. It's like, okay, I get another chance. Maybe now's a better time for us to get together.
And it was like the date they had wasn't, you know, it wasn't the best of dates, but it was companionship. Mm-hmm. You know, and so they moved on, and so now they were building a relationship, and we know Denise and Calfani from day one. She threw her feet up on his lap, you know, rubbing his feet. Calfani later on ended up massaging her down. She started enjoying the presence of Calfani because he had the big muscles. She really enjoyed him. But there came, like as we mentioned a few minutes ago, that this new girl came in town. This new cheerleader, or someone who made Calfani laugh and made him smile because she called him smiling. Who gave him peace. Who he didn't have to really watch and look over his shoulder because of the assertiveness and aggressiveness. He was like, oh, she makes me laugh. She brings something back in me that I hadn't had in a while. Mm-hmm. And so it makes him laugh and giggle, and she's got get the nickname Smiley, and you know, and we see them progress in the relationship, where he became her number one, and she became his number one.
And Rashid was blowing in the wind, and what Rashid said was, you know, yeah, it was a change for me. Why would you not expect me to change? Because we was all focused on each other, and it was like, I know it's a dating show, but you like really was giving more of your attention. He said, I noticed that it was her mannerisms and everything that was different from me to Calfani. You got the all giddy, you giggly when it comes to him. And I saw it wasn't that. And so he said, just like he said on the show, I ain't trying to be chasing you. She said, I want to be chased. You want to be pursued, not chased. When you chasing somebody, they're trying to get away from you, and you trying to pull them back.
Yes.
If I feel like you trying to get away from me, then I'm not going to chase you down.
And I think she messed up on that. She's trying to pursue her, and which means she wanted him to come more. And like, oh, you got California? Well, let me do this extra. He was like, yo, you're giving him so much time that I can't do extra. So I already see where your invested interest is. Why I'm going to give you extra if you're not going to reciprocate that?
Absolutely.
And so, it becomes a give and take here. I'm giving you the best of me, or I'm giving you all that I got, and you give me handfuls. Because you happy about, because California got muscles. And I mean, just that type of stuff. You have a new toy, and I'm not part of that toy yet.
Yeah.
I'm not, you got me thrown in a toy box, and you playing with this thing.
Yeah. And so, Rashid says, when asked by Tommy, why do you think it didn't work? Rashid says, I think we were just at different ages and stages of life. That's why it didn't work out. And she basically says, well, I don't know about that. Her problem was when somebody else came in the picture, came into play, he didn't want to fight for me. And she said that if I had picked him, all that ages and stages talk would have been null and void. He wouldn't have said that.
It would have said, I can't knock you. I agree with that. I agree with her on that. He might not have said the age difference wasn't a difference when you, I don't want to use the word, as he's courting her, it wasn't a problem. And it shouldn't be, unless he's seen some immaturity after they went home. Mm-hmm. And realized that, okay, there is a, wipe his brow, I'm glad I didn't go there, because there's a lot of immaturity that she has to make up.
Yeah, but I don't even really think he meant it like that when he said ages and stages.
I think he meant experience in life.
Yeah,
that I have more experience in life, because he mentioned I'm the only one on this stage besides Tommy who's been married 10 years.
Yeah, has the longest tenure when he was married. Yes, absolutely.
Married.
So in talking to Denise when it comes to Calfani, she said Tommy said, why was it hard for you going through this process? She said, well, it wasn't hard for me. Everybody tried to make it like it was hard for me. Like I had jealousy and everything. It wasn't that. I could never be jealous. I'm not a jealous person.
Like Denise. Denise.
Like, girl, you know
I know. Girl, I know. And
basically what he said was, you're saying that it wasn't hard for you, and it wasn't jealous. But all of us from the outside looking in are like, that's the way you acted. And he said, just like you can't see your back. She was like, you can't see what's on your back. She said, yes, I can.
Yes, I can.
He said, well, somebody on the outside is going to have a different perspective and give you a different perspective.
And, she sees her back when she looks in the mirror, and because she has that view. But, again, you're using something.
But you're also not seeing it.
Right.
When somebody else can look and see your whole back. Even when you're looking at it in the mirror, you're not seeing it.
You see
from their perspective.
Yeah, you're not seeing it from their perspective. And from the other person's perspective is you're being assertive and overly aggressive.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
So, the question at hand is, in the end,
dog.
After we had this square, which wasn't really a square, it was more like a triangle.
Yeah.
Rashid, Adriana, Calfani.
Hit him.
What happened with Adriana and Calfani?
Hit him. What happened was Calfani got home, and there was a note on the door from his ex, who he cared for, who he loved, this is what the deal breaker was, who has dealt with his children. Who has dealt with his children and his family. And he said, you know what? I love her. And which Adriana has just spent multiple weeks with this guy. They go back home to Houston, and he has a sign on his door, and she's talking sweet. The girl
she got dropped over a 4-page letter. No, it's a note. A note on the door.
A note on the door.
What did this note say?
Was the note blackmailing him? I don't know. Was the note love?
What could the note have possibly said? That you got a note? People was like, she writing notes, putting notes on the door. You ain't text, send no email, stop by. It wasn't none of that.
She didn't text because she knew he probably gone. She knew he probably was on the show. Again, my question here, if she knew he was on the show, is this a ploy to make sure he doesn't love anybody else but love her?
Bro, I don't know. Well, whatever it is, it worked because he said, you know, this is somebody that he's serious about, and you know, he's in love with her, and this is the woman more than likely that he would marry.
Tommy asked me, "This one that you think this is one thing when you marry?" He was like, "Yeah."
So that leaves Adriana questioning all of this that we went through. Was it real? Were you being serious? And I did think, dang, I picked you over Rashid. Probably should have picked Rashid.
Again.
But
they're in a bubble. There's no outside influence. There's no outside world. You hear what you hear on your phone, maybe. There's no... So life is easy because you're in this bubble. Now when we leave this bubble, reality has to set in. I got kids. I got work. I got all these other things. And the bubble that you once knew is not there anymore. Mm-hmm. So what happened was, life happened, he got home and he realized, you know what? I really love this one right here. I don't really love her, but I love this one here because this all these check up here and she checks here. I need to go with the one that's up here.
I mean, okay, so this is my thing. I get that. And I would feel that a little bit more if he didn't say it was the day that they got back.
She knew when he was coming back. This thing was planned. It was a setup.
The day. Somebody said the next D-Day. The next darn day. The next darn day. And I want to say this too because you addressed this. We're in a bubble and when life hits. But this is the thing. In a bubble or outside a bubble. This is the chance, the risk that you take in life, period.
Yeah.
When you make a decision, when you weigh it out, that's the risk you take in making a decision. It may or may not work out. And so you have to be all in on your, go with your decision. If that's the decision you make, hindsight is 20/20. You can go back like, dang, I probably should have picked Rashid. But you made the choice that you made.
You make your bed
in the bubble or out the bubble.
You make your bed and you lay in it. I just wanted to see if this relationship could have worked outside of their parameters. Remember, this season of Radio Love, it wasn't like the first season or the second season where people were at home and you saw their everyday life and you saw their families and you dealt with that. This was, hey, we're going to send you to a mountain resort in Georgia while we film this. And so you got all these days off, you got all this time, you got all this food, you don't have anything but to enjoy each other or try to find love. And it just didn't work out. Yeah.
And so like I said, Adriana is questioning if it's real. The one thing I want to point out, they're having a conversation about it. California's like, I didn't mean to make you feel that way. And this is the same time that Rashid is talking about how he could tell the difference between how she responded to him and how she responded to Califani, and the fact that I'm complimentary of both of them. He's explaining this, and Tommy like, what y'all talking about?
Yeah, they had. I mean, the side conversation is loud.
She ain't hearing nothing. She heard nothing.
Nada.
Nothing that Rashid said.
And he's pouring his heart out. He's telling her, he's pouring his heart out, and they're having a side conversation, and she doesn't hear any of it.
That bothered Tommy some kind of bad. He said that one thing I told y'all in this process, I told y'all two things. In this process, you're going to need to be patient and be present. And you were not present.
You're not present. Rashid could have been like, you know what, boo, you know what, just because Califani left you, I'm willing to take you back, and she wouldn't hurt any of that.
No.
And I'm glad he didn't. Because that wouldn't have been, and I mean, she probably wouldn't accept it anyway. Not that she doesn't like Rashid, but it just wasn't the right timing. Yeah. And in the end, when they, cut, Califani makes a point to apologize to her. Yeah. The kind of person I am. I'm genuine, and I meant it. But again, when you have to make choices, you make choices, and so you have to weigh that decision. And even though it was quickly, and he really didn't give Adriana a chance, he weighed it out. I got this, same thing she said. I got this old good thing and this new great thing. And so Califani decided to go with the old good thing. Yeah, and because he's familiar with that. It's familiarity.
The same thing that led her to dealing with Rashid. Familiarity.
Familiarity. So that's the thing that kept them here.
Yeah. So in the end, to close out, Naya and Edwin, Edwin says they're gonna continue on that journey.
Yeah.
And Naya says she's got plenty of potential still. It won't be no potentials until she get that ring on her finger.
That ring on that finger.
Chris said he's chilling. He's still doing some self-reflecting and making sure he's emotionally available. That's where he is with it. And Simone says she's been dating better since the show.
Yeah, she said she's been.
So she's happy about that.
One thing I like to say to Simone said she's been dating better and she learned how to date. Learned the right questions, and she's helped improve herself. And Tommy was happy for that. That was like, okay, I'm glad to see. That's what the show's all about, making improvement. If you make your connection, fine, but it's about making improvements.
Yep. And so that's Ready to Love reunion part 2. But nobody stayed together.
Nobody stayed together, but we did have some couples on the outside who've got kind of hooked up. You had Edwin and Naya. You had, I'm going to try to run through these. Edwin and Naya. You had Winner and Anthony, who still have a situationship. They still talk.
Yeah, Joy and Jay.
Joy and Jay, who still have a situationship, and they still talk. And you have my man David and now Alex, who have gotten together. So that's another relationship that has been formed because of the show.
Raymond and Shay.
You know, Raymond and Shay. So you see...
And then you got Sam with his baby. And Alicia with her baby.
Okay. So what you see is that there's people who, because of this experiment, I'm going to call it, have matched up and matched with other people. It doesn't say that you have to have Ready to Love that's on the show. Right. You just got to be ready to love whenever. So Ready to Love could be at the reunion. And we'd have found a couple people at the reunion who was ready for love. You know. So
overall, pretty good season. It kept us
it was pretty good season.
Interested.
It was interesting. Had some good topics to deal with. It's a good season for them to be in a COVID situation. I like that everyone's housed together. I don't know if you can do that next year. Pandemic may be gone, but I think everyone housed together in this setting makes it a little bit more entertaining for television instead of seeing someone, as we saw last year, in their home, come back to their home, come back and meet the person. It was just too much, in my opinion, last year. I think this year, Ready to Love was a very, very good season. But
the one thing I will say, that puts in the element that you were saying. At least on previous seasons, real life was there. Yeah. I gotta work. I gotta do this and do that. So they were missing that real life element. Yeah. But what some of the contestants said was they operate in areas of being entrepreneurs, so they could take the time away from their businesses or whatever to be on a resort.
And I think that was fine because, you know, Jake said it, I think, in his Instagram post that he needed the time to relax and focus. I think people on there and people that was on the show found out about themselves. They found out some more about them. They found out what makes them tick. They found out what makes them not tick. They found out what they like and what they don't like. What other people like about them and what other people don't like about them. So they found out a lot of information. The point is, can you process that information and continue to grow? And from what we saw in the reunion, and when some of the people come back, we saw people who have grown. Yes. You know, and have made that progress. So I think season-wise it was good. I think Tommy did a great job as always. And keep it rolling.
Yep. So we want to thank y'all for sticking with us as we reviewed Ready to Love season. This was season 3.
Season 3.
And the highs, the lows, the ups and the downs.
Highs and lows, up and downs. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification. Also, make sure that you don't miss out on Sunday afternoon, January 24th at 4 p.m. We have Rashid, the car god from Ready to Love season 3 here with us as we interview him, talking about his experience with Ready to Love.
Yes.
So make sure you check it out.
Thank you for joining us. Bye.